On the screen in front of me I have the MA hoop opened with the design sitting inside of it. Now I know a lot of you do quilting, and unfortunately I don't have any quilting designs, even though this is a border design for a quilt. So what I have done is I have opened a single design and I've duplicated it twice, so I end up with 3 designs running the full length of my hoop. And then I've digitized a series of arcs. So if I tried to save this design right now, all I would get is, sorry, I can't do it. I try to save this as a GIF, and I say save. Some objects are not covered by hoops. Do I want to continue? No, because it won't stitch. And the reason it won't stitch is the MA hoop is in fact two 200mm square hoops overlapped. The top 200mm square is the one with the red line there. The bottom one is the one outlined in blue. And they share a common area here in the middle, and it's quite a big one. Now I know this one and this one sit inside that top square, but this one doesn't. It sits in the blue square, and this one traverses both the red and the blue, and that's what's preventing it. Now if I tell this one just for a while to disappear by saying delete, and now I try to save this, save as, and I'll give it a different name. We'll call it YouTube 1. Oops, I should really have changed my stitch format. Okay, save. And now it's saving, and there it is. This is hoop 1. Well, it only does one hooping. This is the top hoop, and that's the red square. And you can see these are sitting within the confines of that red sewing square. This one is sitting within the confines of the blue, and that's fine. That would work. I'm going to close that. I have no intentions of saving it, and I'm going to tell this undo and bring that line back. Now the reason this won't save is because I've got this. I have to split the design, and the easiest way for me to split this design, if you've got Janome MBX or Janome Digitizer Pro version 3, I'll just make certain this is on non-stitch simulated mode. Right, you use your arrow keys and you see this maze. That's my needle. That's my digitizing cursor. And if I use my left facing arrow key, it travels back. And the moment it starts to travel, there's an icon down here, wakes up, and it's called split box, or split blocks even. And I bring it back to this point. When I've got to there, I come down here and I press split blocks, and it separates that piece away from that piece. Now, I've something else I have to do. I have to change the colour of that one so as I can illustrate exactly what it is I'm talking about. I'm going to turn that to green, and then I'm going to turn this one to green. Where's the green? There it is. There we go. Now I tell this File, Save As. First of all, I'll go and change the format. YouTube 2. I give it a little while. There we go. There's the top half of my design, or the top 2/3. That will stitch. Then I have to move the position of my hoop on my machine. And then this one will stitch. And because this arc and this design are well within this blue field, that will stitch properly. And then these two, which I believe stitch first, I don't know because I don't have the 11,000. I actually use an industrial machine. This one will stitch first. And when that's finished stitching, you don't change just the colour of your thread. That different colour is only to let it know, oops, okay, now we've got to move the hoop. And we come and we stitch this one. So now I can save this one. And it will go to my machine, and my machine will read it properly, and it will give me instructions when I get to this one to move my hoop position. And you slide it along into the right position. That's how the MA hoop works. Now if you're doing a quilting design and you don't own the Janome software but you do own Mbird, you can do a similar thing in Mbird. In Mbird you go in and you put your design through the sew simulator in the hoop that you intend to stitch it in. And when it reaches a point where you know it's not going to stitch on your machine because you're doing an all-over design, and you know it'll only do 200 millimeters in the top half and 200 millimeters in the bottom half, but of course you've got this area in the middle which is 120 millimeters. You know you've got to make a break somewhere. And so you use your simulated stitch out and you watch where it is. When it reaches a certain point, you tell it split design, split, and it'll split the one particular colour. Then you continue, and if you've got more lines that come down into this space, every time it reaches one of those lines, you tell it split until you've got all the pieces that you need for the bottom part of your design. And you can do as I've done here and change the colours for those pieces. Then you join all the pieces for this lower half together by telling it to combine, and you'll get two separate designs. You'll get everything that you need in the top half and everything that you need in the bottom portion. But I've shown you in the Janome software because the Janome software is designed for the Janome machines. And it is so much easier if you use the program that supports your sewing machine. Okay, I hope this helps you. If you buy a design that runs the full length of your MA hoop and it's got convenient colour stops, the Janome software will automatically split it for you for your MA hoop. If it doesn't have convenient colour changes, it won't do it. You have to manually split it by using your home and end keys and your directional arrow keys to walk back to a certain point and then tell it split block. Okay, I'm going to get this rendered now, so I'll say goodnight to you, and I genuinely do hope this has helped you.